पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां
भगवता
भगवतां
नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ददामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी. Om Swamiji. We are in verse 13.
13, yeah.
As the sustaining energy, Gama Vishyacha Bhutani Dharayam Yaha Mojasa
Mojasa
Dharayam Yaha Mojasa
Dharayam, yeah, Dharayam Yaha Dharayam
Dharayam Yaha Mojasa
Mojasa, yeah.
Pushnami Chausadi Sarvaha Somo Bhutva Rasatmakaha.
Yeah. Pushnami cha Aushadhi. Aushadhi means herbal plants. Pushnami cha Aushadhi sarvaha somo bhutva rasatmakaha. Yeah.
Pushnami Chausha
Cha Aushadhi.
Oh.
Aushadhi sarvaha.
Pushnami Cha Aushadhi Sarvaha Somo Bhutva Rasatmakaha. Cha and Gam, the earth, Avishya having entered, Avishya having entered, Ojasa with strength, Bhutani the beings, Aham Dharayami I sustain, Rasatmakaha that which is in the form of their essence, Somaha the Soma, Bhutva having become, Sarvaha all, Oshadi the vegetation, Pushnamicha and I nourish. Having entered the earth, I sustain the beings the beings with strength, and I nourish all the vegetation having become soma in the form of their essence. Having entered the earth, Bhagavan sustains all the beings with his strength. As we saw before, this strength is free from binding desires. And with this strength, he does not overburden the earth but nourishes it. The Veda says this is the one because of whom the heaven, the earth, and all the planets remain where they are. They remain firm because of the one who is the sustainer of the earth. How does he sustain the beings? We see them gathering their own food and taking care of themselves. That they are able to obtain food is because of his power, and the nutrition in the food is him. Therefore he says, I nourish, aham pushyami. How does he nourish? The Lord says, Somo Bhutva, having become Soma. The word Soma has different meanings. It refers to the juice or sap of anything, the value or essence, a particular plant or the moon. All these are called the Soma. Here the meaning is clear because of the word Rasatmaka in the form of essence that goes with it. Bhagavan makes all the fruits and vegetables nourishing and tasty. As Soma, he is the reservoir of all their essences. The vision being portrayed here in these 4 verses is, I am the self of everything, Aham Sarvatma. Thus he says, I am the brilliant sun that makes life possible. The moon is me, and so are the earth and fire. I enter into this earth and with my strength to make it capable of sustaining life. The food that is necessary for the sustenance of the beings is also me, and I fill up all these plants and trees with nourishing factors and tasty essences. If Bhagavan is the food, are we not eating Bhagavan? No, that is not so. The eater is also Bhagavan.
Yeah, basically we have seen that, no? Brahmarpanam Brahmahadi. Something similar, very similar in the sense. It is the whole the whole order. That's what Swamiji always says, the order of orders. We really minutely look at every aspect of life. There is a niyati that connects. So that is how, in that form only, Ishvara is visualized here as an order in everything. Anatomy, psychology, physiology, everything is bit in detail is discussed in these 4 verses. So that the idea is, Aham Atma is the first 6 chapters. Bhagavan, the world, is the next 6 chapters. Now the equation, Aham Sarvatma. The being is the Sarvam. And like Sarvam meaning the being is dimensionless, how it can become Sarvam means as a Shakti, as an order only. In the sense, it is, as I have always been telling, the being is in movement, it appears as orders. Like even we all know that even a screen, the movie is called movie. Why? Because continuously the same the screen and incremental changes keeps on moving the images. So it gives, because of the persistence of vision, we think that there is a continuous. There is no continuum. It's all frames, so many frames moving. The same way our life also, it looks like it is different. It is not different. It appears different because of the movement, constant movement in different permutation and combination. Certain movements gives you the feeling that it is a ball. Certain movements it gives the feeling that it is a square. Certain movements it gives the feeling that it is a wood. Certain that like actually if you look at it, our own body, the bottom half is supposed to be earth, then water, then akasha, the vayu, then akasha. Like the sense, if you look at the subtlety is the brains. That is why a lot of akasha with little cells, and then water, less settle, and then vayu, and then agni, then earth, most least settle, most gross, where the space between the cells are minimum. When the space is minimum, it becomes gross. That is called solid. When the space is very large, then it is not visible to the naked eye. So it becomes very subtle. So, but fact is, all of them are put together or kept apart, continuous movement, which gives the feeling that there is a different sarvam. Sarvam is kalpitam only. That is why even our own yugas are all called kalpa. Kalpa means kalpitam basically. But appears as if something very big. Kalpa, yuga, and all that continuously changing. But why? Because a dimensionless being, if it has to be sarva, it has to be moving. There is no choice. Then only it will give an impression that it is a moving thing. So that is how all our perceptions and conceptions is nothing but movement. Movement in the mind is called conception. Movement as though you see outside is called perception. The perception is maya. The conception is avidya. Both are. Actually, maya is also called avidya because vid means to be. Avidya means not to be. So maya is equally avidya because it is not to be but appears. But it is in the order. In the sense it is a very holistic and infinitesimally unfathomable order, so it's called Ishvara. Whereas our own avidya we can easily make out. There is avidya, so we are able to get rid of it with vidya. So that is the only difference between avidya and maya. But both are as though only. Avidya does not have any existence once you understand. And maya also does not have a real existence once you understand. But it is a vibhuti, it's a glory of the being that is being expressed as maya. That is what is being discussing in these 4 verses. These 4 verses talks about maya as a glory of the being. Whereas avidya is not a glory because it doesn't understand. We think that it is all, everything is real. So maya, if is appreciated as maya, and the world is appreciated as vidya, then it is vidya only. If it is taken as satyam, then it is avidya. Because you are taking otherwise. So you are not wise. That is why it is avidya. So that is how it is.
But we say glory, why we say Maya's glory?
Glory because we we cannot fathom it. In the sense how nicely it is all connected. So nicely, giving us the feeling that it is real. That is a glory. That is why Mahayogi Iva. Hence, see, our own avidya we can easily discern. Once we understand, we feel foolish. Whereas Maya, even if you understand, but still continues. You can only understand. You cannot change it.
Yes.
So that is why it's glory. In spite of not being there, it gives an appearance and you have to deal with it. You cannot run away from it. That is why it's called glory. Better to appreciate it as glory, Ishvara Shakti, and keep going. Don't try to resist it. And do whatever you need to do within that order. But never take it as Satyam. It is only Mithya. Either Ishvara Shakti or your own Avidya, both are Mithya only. So that is why once you understand Satyam, you can rise above both Maya and Avidya, then your life is made here and now. You understand. By understanding, you are able to be you can call yourself Sarvajna. Even though you are not Sarvajna in terms of the world, because why? Because Sarvam Kalpitam Nya. So Kalpitam, even if you don't know the detail, doesn't matter, it's Kalpitam only. So that is why you cannot try to understand, even if you are a doctor, you don't understand everything about your own anatomy. Keep learning, but sometimes even after learning also you make mistakes. Your own body, good, ontologist dies of heart attack. So that is how it is. Unfathomably glorious. That is why it's called glory. It is not glory, doesn't mean that makes it Satyam. No. Glory means you understand, you reverentially look at the changing world as Mithya. But don't ignore it. It may bite you. So you have to give credence to the yogi, that is the Ishvara, that is basically the awareful beings, infinite. You have to respect it and play the roles accordingly. But never take it as Satyam. Then again will be hurt. So you understand the reality of it and navigate. Then it becomes, you will do whatever is appropriate without giving in to temptations. And there will be no agenda, like you are not going to gain anything or lose anything. Because your understanding is very clear. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, I am the only Sarvatma Bhava. That is the emphasis here, Sarvatma Bhava. Your own being alone, Bhagavan says, is everything. So, you don't have to get bugged by the changes.
That means there is nothing called real life.
Yeah, basically that is the real. Vedanta is nothing but reality understanding. Sadeva Satyam means equal to reality understanding. So nothing real, everything is transactional. That is why I like Trump's statement. A transactional world. There are no permanent enemies, no permanent friends. It is transactional, it's a fact. What is contextually relevant today, 100 years down the line, it won't be relevant. We are seeing that. Our own lifetime, what was relevant 50 years back called Dharma, today it's not.
Yes.
It is a credit society today. If you don't have a credit card, you are looked down upon.
Yeah.
Whereas having credit was sin in our 50 years back. So the whole value system has changed.
Kamban has written, Kadan Vanginar Nenjam Bola.
Yeah.
Today, there is
Now,
nobody without
actually,
Kadan.
now it is Kadan Koduttavan Nenjam Bola. It is not Kadan Vanginavan Nenjam. Kadan Vangi is happy. He is respected in the society. Kadan Koduttavan, you have to worry.
No, he doesn't worry because he is also taking Kadan from somebody else.
Yeah, that's all. That is why they say future generations will suffer.
Swami, that Sarvam Kalvitam Brahma. That Kalvitam is different. What's the meaning of that? Sarvam.
Kalu, there it is Kaluidam. Kalu meaning
Kalu.
indeed.
Okay.
Kalu meaning indeed.
Indeed.
Sarvam idam Brahma. Sarvam Kalu idam Brahma. Brahma alone is Sarvam. How can Brahma, which is changeless, objectless, dimensionless, can be Sarvam? Only as Kalpitam.
Okay.
There is no other way. Yes, that is why it's called Kalpitam. Kalpitam meaning it appears, appearance. That is why it's called unreal. Unreal meaning is not non-existent. It is appearing, but it is not real. So both are equally important. Appearing, so you have to transact with it. That is why why that beautiful, that first, second chapter, Nasato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha. Both have to be understood. Nasato asataha vidyate bhavaha. Vidyate means it is. That vidya I was telling you, easiness. Easiness is not there for asat. At the same time, na bhavo vidyate satat. Sat is always there. It never has abhava. So that the vidyate is the easiness. So here also the vidya of Maya is easiness but appears. So it has got easiness is there, but it does not have the appearance, means it does not have bhava. That is why na asataha vidyate bhavaha. That is world. The world which you are described in these four verses is equivalent to in that second chapter verse, first sentence. Na asataha vidyate bhavaha. This is what we are discussing is asat, the vriksham. The vriksham will be there as long as it is there. Thereafter it will not be there. Continuously changing, but it looks like it is there. But it is not there. The reality is not there, but it is continuously changing, appears. So that is na asataha vidyate bhavaha. Na bhavo vidyate sataha is, the second sentence is meant for the awareful being, the being in you and the being in Ishvara. That is Brahman. The Brahman and the being, the Jiva, the being and Brahman never has no non-existence. I was telling no, na riyate, naraha. Never not there. Yes. That is our reality. So our reality and Ishvara's reality is one and the same, the being. But everything else is appearance. It's all glorious because of it's all in the part of the niyati, part of the Ishvara's order. And there again, if you misunderstand, even in this, all these things, the four verses that is being told, everywhere, if you look at it, you look at it as something shashvatam. Then what will happen? Because of your avidya, you take it differently. Appearance, you take it as real. Then it creates a problem for you. If you take it as Ishvara is meant, then it is fine. But if you take it as real, shashvatam, then everything will hurt. So that is precisely, our avidya is sitting on top of the Maya. If you understand Maya is Maya, there is no problem. If you take Maya as real, then that is avidya. Your avidya sits on top on Maya and creates trouble for you. So we have to only get rid of the avidya part, period. And Maya I appreciate as glory, like Bhagavan says. He is able to appreciate his glory. We should also be able to appreciate. So everything is part of the niyati, do it as per the order. To that extent you understand. Okay, you may not be able to understand everything because in every being there is a particular order. The plant behaves in a certain way, an animal behaves in everything you cannot understand. But how your dharma is what you understand. That much that is why nimitta matram bhava. You just play your role. So that our own avidya only you have to take care. Maya you have to appreciate as glory. That is what we are doing now. But both have their own reality only in the being. That is the sarvatma bhava. Atma is sarvam. Atma alone is sarvam. There is no second atma. Brahmatma is not different from Jivatma. There is only one atma. So that is the real, that is moksha. That is freedom. Once you understand that is freedom. Thereafter you just have to play the role. That's it. Yeah.
14. Verse 14.
So the vision being portrayed, you can read it.
Vision being portrayed here.
The vision being portrayed here, actually I read, are we not eating Bhagavan?
Yeah.
No, that it's so, the eater is also Bhagavan.
Okay. Verse 14, sorry.
Swamiji, this Rudram Somaya cha Rudraya cha comes, right? That Somaya is who?
Yeah. Soma is, that's why he has given all the meanings. Soma has got value in the, what do you call it? Yajna. In Yajna, Soma is supposed to be something very ritualistic, ritually auspicious. So the the priest is supposed to have the yoga first soma as a prasadam and all that, as the juice of the, as a out. So that is why all those meanings are there. But here he means soma is the essence of all the glories. That's why he says essence. It is the essence of all glories. That's all.
Verse 14. As the prana shakti in all beings, aham vaishvanaro bhutva प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधं वैश्वानरः भूत्वा, having become the digestive fire, प्राणिनाम of living beings, deham ashritaha obtaining in the bodies, prana apana samayuktaha being endowed with prana and apana, chaturvidam the fourfold, annam food, aham pachami I digest. Having become the digestive fire obtaining in the bodies of living beings, endowed with prana and apana, I digest the fourfold food. Bhagavan becomes the very Vaishvanara, the digestive fire. Shankara quotes the Shruti that says the Vaishvanara fire is that which is inside the person and by which the food is cooked. Ayam Agnihi Vaishvanaraha Yaf Ayam Antaha Purushe Yena Idam Annam Pachyate Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 5.9.
Yeah, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 5.9. Yeah.
The cooked food that is eaten is cooked again by Bhagavan in the form of the internal Vaishvanara fire obtaining in the physical body of the living beings, Praninam Dehamashritaha. While the Vaishvanara fire is the main thing, it is linked to some other things that are necessary for digestion and assimilation of food. Prana is the respiration and the general prana shakti that includes the function of digestion, circulation and assimilation, and apana is the function of evacuation. Endowed with these, the Vaishvanara fire cooks the four types of food consisting of what is drunk, bhojya, masticated, bhakshya, licked, lehya and sucked, koshya.
Choshya. So 4 types of food, 5 types of fire. Like we know now, our own, when we eat food, we say no, prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, brahmana, like 5. All those fire, digestive fire, all the 5 fires, and the 4 types of food. What is solid, what is to be, drunk, what is to be chewed, what is to be, lekyam is licked. About 4 types of food. All food are converted into 4 types. So all these are together makes food. And Bhagavan says, I am that. That's it.
Brahman is in the form of all these functions. That is why when we eat, we offer the first mouthfuls of a meal to prana, respiratory function, apana, the evacuation, vyana, the circulation, samana, the digestive system, and the udana, the force that keeps the prana in the body until the prarabdha is exhausted. And then at the end, when the prarabdha is over, rejects the sukshma sharira out of this body, and finally to Brahman, Hiranyagarbha, who obtains as the life force in every living being. We make this offering because eating always implies killing, even for a vegetarian. Life lives upon life, and taking a life naturally involves papa. Therefore, we say we are not the eaters. Lord Krishna says he is the eater. Any papa that is there goes to him, not to us. Only the agent karta can be the enjoyer bhokta, so let Bhagavan eat. What he eats is also himself, and therefore there is no papa. He is both the eater and the eaten. Therefore, he is neither of these. It is all mithya. If you know that everything is Bhagavan, there is no problem for you also.
That is what it is, precisely. You are able to realize that Brahmarpanam also is the same thing. But the thing is, everything is in circulation. What is that is, Swamiji always used to say, what is idli outside becomes you once it goes inside. So, what is the difference? There itself we can make out very clearly. When it is outside, you call it idli. When it comes inside, you say it's you. So, which is the reality? Neither idli is the reality nor you are the reality. Everything is changing. So, it's all. So, it's a, what do you call it? A clever man's bluff. The whole thing is. So, it is so very orderly, so very empirically true so very what you call reproducible and empirical and useful for Vyavahara and Prayojanam. Since there is some Prayojanam. We see we are eating food and we are growing, like that. Prayojanam is seen. So naturally when we say there is some Prayojanam, it is repeatable, reproducible, every day we are able to talk to the same person. So we think it's all Saswadam. So that is a Maya. So, but we should not get carried away beyond a point and think that it's all Sashvatam. Because everything is only Nama, Rupa, relevant to the time, that's all. Idli, when it is outside. You, when it becomes inside. Nama, Rupa, both. It is nothing but Nama, Rupa. Then you break it down and it becomes what you call rice. Then it becomes what you call a big, long chain, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Then everything finally gets reduced. The whole world is getting reduced to carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. You are also carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. The plant also is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. But you call it food and you call it yourself somebody. But all are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen only. So if you break it down like that, finally what remains is only, the reality is only the conscious being. Everything else is changing. Nama, Rupa. That is why that famous, this Viveka says, Asti Bhati Priyam Nama Rupam Asmat Panchakam Adyatrayam Brahma Rupam Tato Dvayam Jagad Rupam. Nama Rupa is only Jagad. Asti Bhati Priyam, that is reality. That is your reality, Ishvara's reality. Awareful being. Asti, being. Bhati, awareful. Priyam, that is once you understand this Asti Bhasti is the reality, that Priyam is it always remains. It is the background on which even the Apriyam, Sukha Dukkha is sitting on top of the Priyam only. Sukha Dukkha because you give value to the Nama Rupa. If you drop it, then there is no Sukha or Dukkha other than your own basic Priyam of Asti and Bhati. So that is how it is. Since the whole thing hinges on our understanding, not to change anything. Change to the extent possible, you will change. Make it more convenient, more comfortable, fine. It happens, okay, fine. Doesn't happen, fine, equally fine. That's a little bit changing only. What is comfortable today may not be comfortable. You will have a nice bed, everything. But the fellow will have back pain, so he will have to sleep on the floor. He is not allowed to sleep on the bed because he has got back pain. But he has worked so hard to get the bed and all. So it's how it is. So that reality understanding is what the whole Veda, the whole study is about, reality understanding. And not to ignore the unreal. Unreal is mithya, not non-existent. So mithya means you have to deal it at that level. It's all. Like even we know sun is not going around earth. We say but sunset, sunrise and all that. Neither the sun rises nor the sun sets. But we appreciate the whole calendar is based on that. We are doing all that. But knowing fully well that is not reality. But it is Vyavahara, useful. So that is how it is. Sky is not, there is nothing called ceiling or sky. But we not only give it a name called sky, but also we say blue sky. There is no blue sky out there. But you will still enjoy. So all that. When the clouds, when the moon goes, when the clouds are there, the moon seems to be moving faster. Actually, it is moving in its own space only. But because of the clouds are moving, we think the moon is moving. Like generally the child always looks at it that way. We know. So all that. Since the whole thing is, the whole movement is to be understood as its own face. You should not accept it its face value. You must look at the intrinsic value and then deal with it appropriately according to the situation. That is how it is. Yeah.
Swamiji, this Anjayatana Puja, we do one rice and do Mahanevedyam. So that time we say Pranaya Swa, Swa. Then we come to our table, again take the same rice, put it in our plate, and then we again say Om Bhurbhusva and do Parseshanam. Already it is Nevedyam to God, right? So why we are doing Parseshanam again?
Atma.
The idea is to remind ourselves that like what he has told here, I am not eating. Only God is eating. God inside me, God outside was eating, now God inside me is eating. So that you don't have that, sense of kartrutvam and I am eating, I am enjoying. Karta means bhakta. Then you will incur papa and punya. Whereas when you look at it holistically, there is no papa and punya when only Ishvara is involved. Because there is only one Atma. What is eaten and what is eater are both are only one. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavi, Brahmagno, Brahmanapta. We do in our home, we say that Pranaya Swaha, Pranaya Swaha. In the public, in ashrams and all, we say Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavi, Brahmagno, Brahmanagutam, Brahmaiva Tena, Gantavyam, Brahma Karma Samajana. That is also from Gita only. We have seen that. Because everything is Brahman. Then there is no eater-eating concept. There is no Karta-Bhokta concept. Karta Bhokta means naturally there is Papa Punya comes.
So when
But once you look at it this way, there is no Papa Punya.
even while doing
And also you at the same time, you will be very aware that you will do minimum himsa. You will take only vegetarian, not non-vegetarian. And also you will eat only to the minimum, what to the extent you require. You won't become avaricious. You will not become greedy. Because who is, what is there for you? You are neither a karta nor bhokta, means you eat just to keep it going, that's all. So eat to appease your hunger, not to satiate your palate.
Okay.
All those things, the essence is very holistic life.
So while doing Naivedyam, actually, you should think that you are offering to God all the...
Yes, you are offering to the God and only the prasada only we take. That's why it's called prasada. And prasada in the sense, even though it is prasada, it is again offered to the Bhagavan inside only. Actually, there, it is common. It's common for all the people. The Vedyam, Pratima, we have what you call, we have Aropitam, Pratima is there. Bhagavan is Aropitam on that. And there we do the puja because it is not possible to, otherwise everyone has to do their own puja for themselves. You have to make everyone sit, each one do a puja. That is not possible. So we are bringing a common Pratima over which we invoke God. Then we do all the Shodasa Kala and then finally Naivedyam. So that is one puja over. Now individually each one of us, the being inside, Antaryami, which is being sustaining us, we are doing the puja. How? By eating. Pranaya Swaha, Pranaya Swaha. That individually we do. It's all. There that is Samashti, here it is Vyakti. Vyashti puja and Samashti puja, you can say.
But that only men, especially Brahmanas, are only they do that.
Hey, that is all. So that is all. Again, the problem is those things have come over a period of time. It's all Arvachinam, not Prachinam. This is last 50, 100 years, 200 years, 500 years, 700 years. The whole religion has been hijacked by sometime called patriarchy, sometime called matriarchy. All that. It's all, and then we say convenience. No, somebody has division of labor, male has to do all this karta, female has to do all the cooking. So he actually originally was Yajnapavitam was there for ladies also. And that is why the second Yajnapavitam the married man wears is for representing the wife. His Yajnapavitam, her Yajnapavitam you wear. And you do karma for her also. So she is also equal right. That is why without her permission you cannot do karma. So it's all. Actually, if you look at the intrinsically, Veda is equal to both the genders. Sometimes more prominence to the lady. But things have changed because of, and a lot of vested interests have come in. Don't know really how. If you go on, get into it, if we go for a debate, then everything will be proven otherwise. But okay, we take it with a pinch of salt and keep carrying on. But Tatparyam we should understand. Every one of us is equally, every one being, not only humans, even animals, plants, everything is a being only. They are programmed, we are not programmed. We have got a choice. That is why you have to be more careful. They don't have to be careful. So they are not karta bhakta. They are just living out their prarabdha and going. They don't earn any papa or punya. That is why when the cow kicks you, you cannot take the cow to the court.
Verse 15, as the self in all hearts. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattaspritignanamohanam cha vaidescha sarvairahameva vedyo vedanta kridde davideva chaham
Vedanta Kritveda Videva Chaham. Yeah. You can say it once again. Very good, thing.
Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto
Matta Smrtirnyanam Pohanancha Vedaisha Sarvairahameva Vidyaha Vedanta Kritveda Videva Chaham. Yeah.
Aham cha, and I, Sarvasya of all, Hridi in the heart, Sannivishtaha have entered, Mattaha from me,
Mattaha.
Smritihi memory, Jnanam knowledge, Apohanam cha and forgetfulness, Sarvaihi Vedaihi cha, and by all the Vedas, Vedyaha the one to be known, Ahameva I alone am, Vedanta Krit the author of the Vedanta, Vedanta Sampradaya, Vedavit Yevacha, and indeed the knower of the Vedas, Aham, I am. I have entered the hearts of all. From me have come memory, knowledge, and forgetfulness. I alone am the one to be known by all the Vedas, and I alone am the author of the Vedanta, Vedanta Sampradaya, and indeed the knower of the Vedas. The basis because of which all transactions take place and which is all that is there is told in the 3 verses beginning with Yada Dityagatam Tejaha.
Yad Adityagatam Tejaha.
Yada Dityagatam Tejaha. Gita 15.12.
So we have started. From there it started. These verses.
The Lord says, I am the brilliance in the sun, I am the light in the moon, and I am the Tejas in the fire. I sustain the earth by my power, and I am the one who fills up the entire plant kingdom with the nourishing nutrients. Therefore, I become the food. Again, I am the digestive fire endowed with prana and apana and so on. Since food is Bhagavan, the food-born body and the external world are also Bhagavan. What is left out? Nothing. Everything is Bhagavan. The verse he says, in the hearts of all I have entered, Sarvasya cha aham hridi sannivishtaha. He has already said that he is the Kshetrajna, the Atma in the mind of every living being. He is the one who obtains having entered Sannivishta as the Atma. In the Taittiriya Upanishad it is said, Tat Shritva Tadeva Anupravishat, having created that he entered into it. He enters into his very creation in the Buddhi as the Atma. That is what is meant here by Aham Sannivishtaha. And having entered, I remain there as the Atma, says the Lord. Therefore, Atma is Ishvara. There is no separation at all between the Jiva and Ishvara. When Bhagavan says Aham Sannivishtaha, I have entered, the meaning of I is nothing but consciousness, Chaitanya. There is only one Chaitanya, the Atma, and as the Atma, he has entered. A second Atma cannot be established. There is no pramana for it. From the Shruti and also from reasoning Yukti, we understand that no second consciousness is possible. As one space is conditioned by various upadhis, consciousness, seemingly conditioned by the knower, known means of knowledge is one. It is nothing but
known.
Knower known.
Seemingly
Knower
conditioned by
known
the
means
knower
of
known, means of knowledge is one. It is nothing but Paramatma. Conditioned by the mind, it becomes the knower, Pramata, due to a superimposed attribute, Visesha, upon Atma. But from its own standpoint, that consciousness is Shuddha, pure Ekaha, one limitless consciousness. With reference to a given mind, it is a knower. With reference to itself, it is limitless. When I say I, Aham, it generally means the knower, Pramata. The teaching Upadesha that I am Brahman is for that knower alone. The consciousness that obtains in the knower is indeed the only consciousness, Chaitanya, which is Ishvara. From me alone are memory, knowledge and forgetfulness. Without this consciousness, there is no knower at all and therefore no knowledge. So he says, from me is knowledge, Mattaha Jnanam. From me, the Atma alone, knowledge is possible. Without Chaitanya, there is no knowledge. Further, the particular possibility of knowing a given object is all an expression of Maya, and therefore, from Ishvara alone is the faculty of knowing. We can look at it in two ways. The first is from me, Chaitanya Atma, who is Ishvara, with Maya as Upadhi, is this knowledge. Or it could be taken to mean from me, the Chaitanya Atma alone, is knowledge possible.
Similarly, memory is also possible only from Chaitanya or from Ishvara. From the standpoint of the faculty of remembering, it is Ishvara. From the standpoint of memory, Smriti, it is pure consciousness, Chaitanya. Apohana means forgetfulness. Even this forgetting of memory, Smriti, and knowledge, Bhagavan says, is due to me, Mattaha. Shankara says here that it is because of Punya and Papa that you have this capacity to remember and forgetfulness. If there is Punya, you have Smriti and Jnana. But if there is Papa, they are denied. This is one way of looking at it, by putting karma in a very high position. In a way, it is true. At the time of writing an examination, you may not remember all that you studied, but you remember it afterwards. Why? Maybe due to some papa. You can also look at it another way. From me alone, Mattaha, not as the giver of the results of action, that is as Ishvara Karma Phala Data, but from the standpoint of consciousness, Chaitanya, is this remembering, knowing and forgetting. Where is the possibility of forgetting without Chaitanya Atma if remembrance is also due to Chaitanya Atma? When you say I forget, it is knowledge. You know that you forgot. You know that something has gone into your head and is there in your list of known things, and you also know that it is not retrievable right now.
Yeah, basically forgetfulness, apohana, is a blessing that he says, so that I don't remember. See, memory is also Bhagavan, then you must remember all the time everything. But along with that, forgetfulness also is given, so that no, you don't remember unnecessary things, irrelevant things. You have to, memory has to, like in one computer memory, it has to keep on erasing the old ones which are all not relevant, which you have not touched, which is not useful to you. Those things, you don't remember a breakfast which you ate 3 months back. There is no point in remembering that. Yesterday's breakfast you remember, and that too till day after tomorrow. That's all. So like that, in the sense, memory also is continuously erasing. That erasing is called apohanam. That is a shakti. That is how you have not deliberately developed that shakti. That shakti has come from Maya, that Ishvara. Whereas remembering, you decide to remember certain things, you have a certain key to remember. That is your. So both your karma as well as Maya, both are involved in everything for that matter. Both of them will travel together. So your karma and plus Ishvara Shakti, there is Maya. Both are there, relevant. So Maya is okay, you cannot do anything about it. But your own karma you can change. Your way of remembering things, not to forget, not to allow your mind to get cluttered. So all that is there possible for you. That is part of your individual Shakti. Yeah.
Apohana, forgetfulness, is a blessing indeed. Not only this, I would also say Apohana, forgetfulness, should be taken as the capacity to bracket all one's ideas and prejudices and keep them under suspension so that new knowledge can take place. Footnote, Swamiji, kindly note, here in the Gita, Bhagavan is talking in the first person many times. And when Swamiji uses the first person too, there could be a possibility of a confusion. So, wherever the first person usage denotes Swamiji, we have given a footnote to the effect. Oh, Swamiji says that.
Yeah. Swamiji would say that I would say means Swamiji would say.
Swamiji would say. So that new knowledge
Apohana,
can
he
take
is
place.
explaining what is Apohana.
Yes, yes. In this sense, Apohana is one of the greatest blessings. If all that one knows is always remembered, how can one learn anything new? So, Apohana is not only forgetting, but the capacity to suspend all ideas and relegate them to the background and keep the mind free. Any new discovery takes place only when one's conclusions can be suspended. How can one otherwise learn something which entirely contradicts what one has been holding all this time? This is particularly important in the study of the Vedanta, which has to negate every notion one has about oneself, the world, and God. How can they be negated completely if the old notions occupy one's mind? For new ideas to come, one has to suspend the current ideas. They need not go away, but they should not disturb one's capacity to listen. Various ideas or opinions one has about God, oneself, one's pursuits, Purushartha, all have to undergo a total transformation, and India plays a new vision has to take place. That is not possible if Apohana is not there.
So that is why he says, he started the discussion saying that Apohana is a blessing. In the sense, for you to have Apohana, you must have Ishvara's grace. You must have earned sufficient punya to have Apohana in your life. Whereas, when you go to a study, you must be able to suspend all your notions about yourself, your ego, your all those things, and then submit yourself to the teacher, to the Shastra, with total surrender. That is possible only when Apohanam is there. All the time you are on top of the world, your ego is so much boosted, you can never take anything new, or you can never submit yourself to any guru or something. It's not possible. There are a lot of people like the very intelligent people, but they are so much conceited, self-conceited, they can never surrender their ego because they don't have the grace of the Apohanam. Temporarily suspend and go to God and go to Guru and suspend all your ideas and listen to him with an open mind so that something new can get in. It's not possible for many people. Very intellectual people, it's not possible. So that is why he says Apohanam is grace. It doesn't come easily. It comes for that, you have to earn that grace.
But then, Swamiji, when you organize functions and all that, sometimes you forget. Although you have a list of what has to be done and all that, sometimes you forget to do it. That is not a blessing.
Swamiji,
Yeah, that is. See, typically, as you rightly say, forgetting what you are supposed to do, like what you were saying, no, in the exam, you have studied everything correctly, but
yes.
so much of attention you have, and the exam, even though you know, you forget, and
Yes.
once you come out, I know, I knew all these answers, I did.
Yes.
That is not a blessing. That is a curse. That's why he said,
Papa.
this Papa. Yeah, so that is also there. But the context of study, unless you do the suspension, apohanam means suspending all that you know about life and all that, and have a fresh look at it. Fresh inquiry is possible only when your conclusions are so very, very staunch in your life. You cannot, your conclusions are you. Like that, your identity with your conclusions about life is so much that you cannot change, or you cannot submit yourself to an open inquiry. So that is curse. That is curse, and that is where apohanam helps as a blessing. So
Yes.
apohanam in a particular context is a blessing. That's what he says.
In the same
But
way.
that Papa,
Yeah.
forgot it.
Yeah.
no,
Hey,
this
tell.
actually
He forgot what he wanted to say.
That
Apohanam.
Papa, we call it destiny.
And yeah, destiny, karma, destiny is not. You are the creator of your own destiny. That destiny means it doesn't come from somewhere. It doesn't come from anywhere. It is your own. You create your own destiny, but you don't know how it created, so we call it destiny. But if you really go back in time and find out, you are the creator of your own destiny. Like even forgetting, you don't have the habit of remembering. You get a cluttered mind, too many things simultaneously, lot of multi-skilling and all that. Sometimes it affects your memory. And childhood, at the childhood, you must be habituated to memory. That's why this chanting and other things it helps in memory. Likewise, mathematics and chant, marakanak, like all this multiplication tables. And today, everything is on the calculator. So people have not developed memory at all. Nothing they remember. Everything is on the computer. So all this is our own. That is all our own creation, our own karma. There again, the Papa is our own. But if it is in the Niyati, it is Ishvara's. That is that. Maya and Avidya simultaneously operate. You can only take care of Avidya, but you cannot take care of Maya. You can only pray for it, the grace, let the Maya bless me. Apohanam is a grace of Ishvara, let it bless me. For that you have to go out of the way and live a contributory life. In the sense you That is told, dharma, reach out, do a lot of. Punyam is basically meant for that, antakarana shuddhi and all, not for asking for more and more, not to go to heaven and all. Punya is only to be a little antakarana shuddhi so that I am able to develop good memory, I'm able to have the grace of the God, I'm able to sit and study all those things. That is why the prayer also should be like that. You pray for it, you will get it that way. That is why that prayer is prayojanam. Like antakarana shuddhi, prayer is a prayojanam. But if I want this phalam, future. When it comes also, you won't know that you will be able to enjoy it. That is why phalam is not a good bargain. Prayojanam is a good bargain. Thus, here and now, drishta phalam, you get it now. That is why Shankara says the whole Shastra study is prayojanavat, not palavat.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a prudent living, right? We all are interested in what I get now, right? So this is prudent living. What I get by studying Shastra is I understand my reality rather than putting my all my stakes on the unreal.
We
So
stop
we'll
here,
see
Swamiji.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi
Thank
Om
you.
Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.